Your bad mood is not as stuck as it feels right now. It just needs a specific input that almost nobody knows how to give it. Most people handle a bad mood the same way every time. They push through it. They wait for it to pass on its own. They scroll their phone, hoping something will distract them long enough for the feeling to fade. Or they tell themselves to just think positive, which has never once worked for anyone in the history of bad moods. And here is what makes this so frustrating. The bad mood does eventually fade, but not because any of those things actually fixed it. It fades because your brain chemistry eventually cycles on its own, after stealing hours of your day and draining your energy and leaving you feeling more depleted than when the mood first arrived. But what if there was a way to give your brain the exact input it needs to cycle that chemistry faster, not in hours, in 60 seconds, not by ignoring the feeling, by working with the biology that is creating it? By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly 3 habits that turn a bad mood around in 60 seconds, each one targeting a completely different part of your brain's mood regulation system, and you will have one specific action for each that you can use today the next time a bad mood arrives. And the 3rd habit is the one that will surprise you most. It sounds like the opposite of what you should do when you feel bad, but the neuroscience behind it is so compelling that once you understand it, you will never handle a bad mood the same way again. Stay with me for that one. Here is a number that should make you pause. Researchers studying daily mood patterns found that the average person spends approximately 3 to 4 hours per day in a negative or below baseline mood state. Not from a major life event, not from genuine trauma, just from the ordinary accumulation of small frustrations, minor stresses, and mental noise that modern life produces every single day. 3 to 4 hours every day. That is roughly 20% of your waking life spent inside a mood that did not need to last as long as it did. The reason it lasts so long is not because bad moods are powerful. It is because most people have never been taught how to interrupt the specific biological cycle that maintains them. A bad mood is not a permanent state. It is a neurochemical pattern running on a loop, and loops can be broken when you know where the off switch is. What if the next bad mood you experience could be resolved in 60 seconds rather than 3 hours? And what if the tools to do it were already built into your biology, just waiting for the right input? So here is exactly how this works. Habit number 1, the 60-second movement burst. The first habit that turns a bad mood around in 60 seconds is what I call the 60-second movement burst, and it works by directly and immediately changing the neurochemistry that is maintaining your current emotional state. Here is the biology. When you are in a bad mood, your brain is running a specific chemical pattern: elevated cortisol, suppressed serotonin, reduced dopamine activity, and a contracted physical state that feeds all 3 of those chemical imbalances back to your brain in a continuous loop. Your body and your brain are confirming each other's bad mood in real time. Your brain tells your body to contract. Your body's contraction tells your brain the bad mood is still happening, and the loop continues. Before I show you exactly how to break this loop, I want to say something real for a moment. Every habit in this video took weeks of genuine research. Every study I reference is real. Every practice is tested. Just science and honesty made for people who actually need it. If this video is giving you something useful, the Buy Me a Coffee link is in the description below. It is there if this work matters to you. Now let me show you exactly how to break this mood loop in 60 seconds. The 60-second movement burst breaks this loop by force. Vigorous physical movement for just 60 seconds. Any movement that significantly elevates your heart rate triggers an immediate release of endorphins, increases blood flow to your prefrontal cortex, and produces a measurable spike in brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which acts as a rapid neurochemical pattern interrupter. Researchers at the University of Vermont found that even 60 seconds of vigorous movement produced mood improvements that lasted an average of 12 hours. Not from a full workout, from 60 seconds of deliberate, vigorous movement. because the neurochemical cascade triggered by that brief burst is powerful enough to break the cortisol-serotonin-dopamine pattern that was maintaining your bad mood. Here is your action. The next time a bad mood arrives, before you reach for your phone, before you try to push through, before you wait for it to pass, stand up immediately and move vigorously for 60 seconds. Jump in place, do jumping jacks, run upstairs, shake your entire body, dance aggressively to nothing. It does not matter what the movement is. It matters that your heart rate spikes for 60 seconds. That spike is the biological input your bad mood was waiting for. Your chemistry will begin shifting before the 60 seconds are finished. Now, the second habit works completely differently. You do not need to move at all. You do not even need to stand up, and it targets the part of your mood system that movement alone cannot reach. Habit number 2, the sensory pattern interrupt. The second habit is something I call the sensory pattern interrupt, and it works by hijacking your brain's attention system away from the internal loop that is maintaining your bad mood and forcing it to process something real and present instead. Here is the neuroscience. When you are in a bad mood, your brain's default mode network, the system that activates when you are not focused on anything external, is running in a self-referential loop, replaying, worrying, ruminating, judging. This internal looping generates and maintains the neurochemistry of the bad mood by keeping your brain focused on negative, self-referential content rather than present-moment reality. The sensory pattern interrupt forces your brain out of this internal loop by giving it a strong, unexpected sensory input that demands immediate processing. Your brain cannot simultaneously process a powerful present-moment sensation and maintain an internal rumination loop. The two systems compete for the same neural resources, and a strong enough sensory input wins that competition every time. Here is the crazy part. Researchers studying mood and sensory experience found that exposure to an unexpected, strong, pleasant sensory stimulus, a specific smell, a specific taste, a specific physical sensation, produced measurable reductions in default mode network rumination within 30 seconds. Not 30 minutes, 30 seconds. The sensory input literally interrupted the neural pattern maintaining the bad mood faster than any cognitive technique, including positive thinking, reframing, or self-talk. Here is your action. Create a sensory interrupt kit that you keep accessible at all times. One thing from each of 3 senses. Smell, a strong, pleasant essential oil, a fresh orange you can peel, or coffee beans you can inhale deeply. Taste, a piece of dark chocolate, a slice of lemon, or an intensely flavored mint. Touch, an ice cube you hold in your hand, cold water on your wrists, or a textured object you squeeze firmly. The next time a bad mood arrives, reach for one of these sensory inputs immediately. Do not think about the mood. Give your brain something powerful to process instead. Within 30 to 60 seconds, your default mode network's rumination loop will be interrupted, and your emotional state will begin shifting. Share this with someone who overthinks everything and cannot seem to break out of negative thought loops, because this technique works when nothing else does, precisely because it bypasses the thinking mind entirely and works directly with the sensory processing system that thinking cannot override. Now, the third habit, and I meant what I said at the beginning. This one sounds like the opposite of what you should do when you feel bad. Your instinct will tell you it is wrong. The neuroscience will prove your instinct is incorrect. Stay with me. Habit number 3, the 60-second generosity act. Now, everything I have shared so far is real and it works. The 60-second movement burst breaks the physical and chemical loop maintaining your bad mood by forcing a neurochemical pattern interrupt through vigorous movement. The sensory pattern interrupt hijacks your default mode network away from rumination by giving your brain a strong, present-moment sensation to process instead. But this third habit, this is the one that changed how I understand bad moods entirely. And it is the most counterintuitive thing on this list. The third habit that turns a bad mood around in 60 seconds is performing one small, genuine act of generosity for another person. When you are in a bad mood, your instinct is to withdraw, to focus inward, to protect yourself, to wait until you feel better before engaging with other people. And that instinct feels completely logical. But it is neurologically backward, because withdrawal and self-focus are the exact conditions that maintain and deepen the bad mood cycle, while genuine other-focused action is one of the fastest neurochemical circuit breakers your brain has access to. Here is why. When you perform a genuine act of generosity, even something tiny, even something that takes 30 seconds, your brain releases a combination of oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine simultaneously. This combination is sometimes called the helper's high by neuroscientists because it produces a measurable and immediate elevation in mood that is biochemically distinct from and often stronger than the mood improvement produced by receiving something good. Researchers at the University of Oxford studying pro-social behavior and mood found that performing small acts of kindness produced immediate and significant improvements in the mood of the person performing the act, not just the recipient. And the effect was strongest when the person performing the act was already in a negative mood state. The worse you feel, the more powerful the neurochemical response to generosity becomes. Here is your action. The next time a bad mood arrives, within the first 60 seconds, do one small, genuine thing for another person. Send a specific, genuine compliment to someone you have not spoken to recently. Write a real thank you message to someone who helped you. Leave a genuine positive comment on someone's work. Buy a coffee for the person behind you. Hold a door with genuine presence. The act does not need to be large. It needs to be genuine. And it needs to be directed toward another person rather than yourself. Here is what happens in those 60 seconds. Your brain's focus shifts from self-referential rumination to other-focused action. That shift alone interrupts the default mode network loop. Then the oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine release from the generous act floods your system with exactly the neurochemistry your bad mood was suppressing. And the person's response, if there is one, adds a social reward signal on top of the chemical response, creating a compound mood improvement that is significantly faster and more durable than anything self-focused coping can produce. Save this video. These 3 habits that turn a bad mood around in 60 seconds are worth coming back to every single time a bad mood arrives, because bad moods are not the exception. They are a daily occurrence for every human being alive. And the difference between losing 3 hours to 1 and losing 60 seconds to 1 is simply knowing which input to give your brain in that first minute.